Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into the New York Knicks, taking a look at what was said on Knicks Nation Weekly recently. They covered quite a bit Jalen Brunson's incredible play, where the Knicks might land in the playoffs, even some, trade talk. Our mission here is to boil it all down for you, give you the key takeaways on the Knicks' current state, and maybe what's next.
Yeah, it really feels like the Knicks are at an interesting point, doesn't it? Brunson's emergence has definitely changed the narrative.
Totally. And Knicks Nation Weekly, well, they were definitely high on Jalen Brunson, pointing out those consistent 27-plus points per game numbers. But it wasn't just the scoring, right? They talked a lot about his leadership, how composed he is, especially when the game's on the line.
Exactly. It's not just putting up stats. It's that control he has in clutch moments.
Yeah.
And it naturally leads to that conversation they had on the podcast. Is he playing like a top 5 point guard right now?
Yeah.
What's really interesting is how he's clearly become the main guy, the primary option, particularly now with Randall sidelined. The whole offense runs through him.
It does. And that brings up a huge question, one Knicks Nation Weekly posed directly. Can this Brunson playing at this level actually push the Knicks past the second round? They didn't really answer it, more like that's the big thing everyone's wondering about.
Well, and that's where the rest of the team comes in, right? Brunson can be amazing, but playoff success, especially deep playoff success, needs everyone stepping up. It's going to be about how that supporting cast performs when things really tighten up in a series.
Okay, so speaking of playoffs, the vibe from the source sounded pretty positive. They think a top 4 seed in the East is definitely achievable. Obviously, Boston's, the team to beat right now. They acknowledge that.
Yeah, getting that higher seed makes a difference. Knicks Nation Weekly brought up potential matchups, maybe facing Milwaukee or Philly, thinking those could be a decent 7-game series for New York. Seeding strategy is huge.
And they also really hammered home the importance of OG Anunoby's health. Sounds like maybe his impact is a bit underrated, like a real swing factor.
Oh, for sure. Anunoby gives them that crucial two-way play. He stabilizes things on both ends. The discussion really highlighted those key ingredients for a playoff run. Strong defense, good depth, and Brunson keeping up this, well, incredible performance level.
Plus the Garden, right?
Oh, yeah. At Madison Square Garden, energy during the playoffs is going to be electric. It's a real factor.
You can almost feel it already. Okay, shifting gears slightly, trade rumors. Knicks Nation Weekly touched on this, mentioning potential Knicks interest in Mikal Bridges. And even Karl-Anthony Towns, though that seems more conditional on what Minnesota decides to do.
The Bridges talk is interesting because, well, the fit seems so obvious, doesn't it? His defense fits the coach's system, and then there's that built-in chemistry with Brunson, Hart, DiVincenzo, all the Villanova guys. That's not nothing.
Right, that connection is a real thing.
Oh.
The Towns idea, yeah, more speculative, depends on the Timberwolves. But the source also mentioned something important. Fan sentiment. Like, are fans getting tired of always trading away future picks and young players?
Exactly. It's that constant push and pull for a front office, right?
Yeah.
Win now versus build for the future. The sense from the podcast was, look, the Knicks like their young core. They're tough. They're determined. But they're also clearly open to adding the right star if one becomes available. It's about finding that perfect piece without mortgaging absolutely everything.
Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive here, based on everything discussed on Knicks Nation Weekly, Brunson's amazing play, the potential for a high playoff seed, those trade whispers always in the background. Here's something for you to think about. What single factor do you believe will be the most critical thing determining how successful the Knicks actually are this season? And why that specific factor? Lots to consider there, definitely a team to watch.